Yo, what up, what up? Making this video, this is the first day. I relapsed like a motherfucker over this past week. Straight binged. Um, yeah, probably within this past week, I probably did PMO at least 4 or 5 times. Like I went in hard, went in extremely hard. Crazy thing about it is I actually live with a woman, and I know a lot of you are thinking like, what the fuck, like why don't you just smash your chick or whatever? But I mean, just for y'all know that people who do PMO, usually PMO is better than physically having sex with a woman. Like what I would do, I would have sex with her, wait till she falls asleep, then go, handle my business, whatever, because I would have all these porn stars in my head as far as like all my favorites. I would have all my favorites in my head thinking like, man, this shit is gonna be so dope because now that she's satisfied now, so now I can go satisfy myself with the PMO shit. And I had a good long streak. I was going about 45 days, I believe. About 40 days. No, it was like 25 days. I'm exaggerating like a motherfucker. Yeah, so it was about 25 days. And I noticed within those 25 days that I was way more clear-headed, way more focused on each and every goal that I had every single day. I never really had an issue talking to women, even when I was doing PMO. I still would get girls online. I can go without PMO for like a week and be straight, be attracted to girls and still have sex and all that type of shit. But I noticed that, I don't know, it's exactly like that movie, I can't think of the name of it right now, but it's a movie with this bodybuilder. No, he wasn't even a bodybuilder. He was like just some average Joe Italian cat, and he worked out and he would constantly fuck different girls, but it wasn't appealing enough to be as satisfying as PMO. So he would go home, binge days, weeks on end, and he'll go to the club and try to find a girl that's similar to what he would see on a porno movie and have sex with that woman, and it still wouldn't be as satisfying. So he would just binge for weeks on end. But since I relapsed, like I have, obviously you can tell that I'm foggy as hell. But due to me knowing the outcome of PMO and all the negatives and shit that comes along with it, I've been purposely making myself do opposite of what I wanted to do today. So I'm reading. I took my son to the gym, helping him. He's 7 years old, so I'm helping him play basketball. I'm giving him drills, and I went to go work out. And I just started reading a book. But I've been doing some very self-inflicting shit for a good minute now. Me and the mother of my child, we would drink. Like we've been drinking every day. Drinking and fucking and me masturbating and shit. This has been fucked up. So it's like I've been operating at probably at about a 10% level. I've been operating mentally. But I've been feeling like that was good enough. Like, hey, I got 10%. My job is pretty easy. Some typical tech support shit. I can do the shit in my sleep. So it's not a big deal to me. And usually when I come home, we do the same shit. So we've been in this constant habit of mediocrity. Everything is just being kind of mediocre. I haven't had to push myself in a lot of areas. So the mother of my child, she brought up something just recently, just like, you know what, you don't really push yourself. She came real gangster, like, hey, I want to bet you that you can't wake up at 6:30 in the morning to work out and all this other shit for 2 weeks consistently. And she's like, I don't care if you drink or whatever, but I bet your ass can't wake up and do this consistently for 2 weeks. And I know you're gonna punk out, I know you're gonna bitch out and all this shit. And she, of course, it was on some psychological shit, but she kind of had a point. Because at this point, I'm already jacking off and shit, so I'm thinking to myself, yeah, you're probably right, I ain't gonna do that shit. You know, I'm cool where I am. I'm like in this void. But, fucking digress. So, at this point in my life, like, I have an understanding. I've been researching this shit for a long fucking time. Like, pretty much like all of us, we've been doing our research, struggling and going back and forth, having good times and having moments to where you're 60 to 70 days without jacking off and shit. Then you have your moments to where you're just a piece of shit. You feel like you're a piece of shit. And it shows in your behavior, shows in your, even like your body language. Like, all this shit is very primal. Like, your body language would change, and your, of course, your voice changes, and it has a lot to do with the testosterone, and we all know this, and you're depleting the dopamine out your brain and all the scientific shit. But to physically feel the changes in your body and notice like you're not really behaving in a very alpha way, it's very it's daunting, and it fucking hits you hard when you realize like, yo, I'm only about 5 to 10% of myself, and I can be way doper than this. I can be way doper than I perceive myself. And so that's why we're gonna wake up. But my point, I forgot my point. When I was doing my research, I found a site called actionlove.com, and he goes into all this. I mean, it's thousands upon thousands of letters about all these different men who are basically fucked themselves up with PMO, but just in different elaborate ways. Like, some dudes be hooked on coke or crack or weed, and they drink heavily, or they work out too much and they jack off, and all these different things. And so he would have a different solution to each person. Of course, he has his products, but his scientific explanations as far as the reasonings of why they're having all these ailments, like some dudes' dicks leak all day, or they can't get hard at all, or they get eye floaters, or their ears buzz, and just in case, I don't want any of you to get confused, and basically just because of those drugs, but there's been regular cases of people who lived a healthy lifestyle of eating right and drinking water, not drinking or not smoking, anything like that, but they would do PMO several times a day, and they will just be fucked up as like a crackhead or a heroin addict because they're constantly depleted their brain of those dopamines and some bunch of other shit, a bunch of long scientific words. And this is my first video, so if you don't like it, fuck you, and how I'm talking, fuck you. So let's continue. Yeah, so it's at this point I just realized I can never go back to that shit. I can never fucking go back to that, man. Just it's not worth beating your dick. Like, it's really not worth beating your dick to some bad bitches online. Because you know the crazy thing about this whole situation with PMO and all this, you know, hoopla, it's like a vagina. Okay, just think about this. Think about this shit for a second. Think about a key and a lock. Like, that lock was specifically made with that hole, and specifically made for that key to fit in that hole. Like, that's its purpose. That's what it's meant to do. Of course, you could try to, use whatever the fuck, but the point is, it's made for the key in that hole, right? Same thing with a pussy. It's like, pussy is made to be entered by a dick. It's like, it's been that way since the beginning of man. So before we can reproduce, the penis goes inside the vagina, right? So here it is, we're beating our dicks and shit and fucking jacking off when there's pussy specifically made for your dick to go inside. And it's like, you don't have to cheat at it. You don't have to be all elaborate. You don't have to come up with a big ass scheme to get inside it. It's made to be fucked by a dick, right? And I think, you know, when we watch porn, your mind goes into this realm of like, you put women on this high ass pedestal. Oh, she's so fucking fine. Oh, she's swallowing them dicks and whatever you're into. And it puts them on a unachievable plateau as if they're like some type of goddesses, when really they're just regular human. They're just regular girls. They want dick too. They want to be satisfied. It's just a different form of sexuality compared to ours. We're dominant. We're dominant, and we get pleasure from dominating. They get pleasure from being dominated. That's where they get pleasure from. They like the sensation of being penetrated by a dick. So it's just weird to me that, and some of you may not believe in God, or you may not, y'all may, I don't care, I don't know what you believe in, but to me, just by doing that, like, even if you don't believe in the Bible, or you don't believe in any godly being, but why is it like in the Bible not to, you know, not to fornicate, or to basically fuck yourself up? Like, don't drink. You can drink, but don't drink too much. Do this, but don't do this too much. It's like, it's always something to prevent you from fucking yourself up too much, to where it's damn near impossible to get back. And I've seen some comparisons and articles of porn addiction is just as bad as heroin addiction, or even worse. And there's even a video out floating out there about the way we look at addicts is wrong. The way we look at addiction is wrong, because I think they did some kind of experiment. They put some rats. I'm gonna have all this shit. Like I say, this is my first video. I'm gonna try to put this shit in there, or you can comment in the video or whatnot. But they had a lab rat, purposely gave it some addictive shit. I don't know if it was heroin or coke or something. And so they had the lab rat that was addicted to the substance, and left it by itself. And the rat by itself that was addicted kept trying to get more and more and more, to the point it killed itself. But then they took that same, well, they took a different rat. So they took a different rat, put him addicted to some shit, but they put him in a very vibrant, fulfilling, happy environment, to where he was with other rats. There were plenty of slides, plenty of food, plenty of other shit to do. And he didn't fuck with the drug, or whatever the fuck it was. He didn't fuck with the drug. He wasn't even interested, because he was being, you know, stimulated by all this other shit. And so I realized that, okay, why did I fucking start, like, after I had sex with the mother of my child, and I was back in that same mediocrity, that same repetitive, stagnant ass shit, going to this slow ass bullshit job, coming home and not really doing fulfilling shit, I found myself back into that PMO cycle. And so it's like this extreme cycle, and everything seems mediocre to you because you've already depleted yourself. You no longer have those dopamines. So something as simple, like a person who's not on PMO, say if a person hasn't done any PMO for like 128 days, say for a year, that motherfucker can be stimulated by something small as just listening to a song and just be rocking, be good. Like, I'm good, or just have a peanut butter sandwich, something small, whatever brings that person normal pleasure, like a child. Like giving a child a damn slingshot, he's good. You know, he's good. But a person with PMO, it takes an extreme amount of stimulation to be fulfilled, as like in compared to PMO. So it'll literally take like a beach full of naked bitches and a rocket and a motherfucking PlayStation 4. Ooh, it'll take playing PlayStation 4, Black Ops 2 or 3 for hours or some shit. And that's a connection right there. I read that as well. Like, a lot of people who play video games for hours and they do PMO. That's the same shit I was doing. I would do PMO video games for like 3 or 4 hours when I was living by myself. So the point to this video, I fucked up, and I'm gonna look back on this video probably 30 days from now and realize how fucked up I was. So to all of you out there, fuck PMO. Be the best of yourself. I mean, be the best you can possibly be. I hate to sound like a damn infomercial, some cheesy ass government commercial, but real shit. Any of y'all who have that issue with PMO, think of all the benefits, and I'm gonna continue to make videos. They're gonna get better. They're gonna get better. But as of now, fuck PMO. Think about all the benefits. Think about how pleasurable your life would be 100, maybe 90 days from now, to where you have like badass women looking at you like, oh, you know, that's a nice person that I would like to, you know, or just having the confidence to stand in front of a lot of people because you don't give a fuck if somebody's judging you, or, you know, think about all these magnificent benefits. Being able to concentrate and focus on success and being able to fully accomplish your goals. Think about that shit. And don't falter. Don't fault at all. So I'm gonna end this video on that note. Sorry for the editing. The editing is gonna be fucked up. The audio is probably fucked up as well. And I'm sorry I'm cursing so much because I'm frustrated at this point. But like I say, it'll get better. So I'll holler at y'all. Peace.